Hello everyone and welcome to the Magnum channel. Today we're going to do a 50,000 mile review on an F150 Lightning. Now, I'm probably not the first person that you would have thought that would make a review on an F150 Lightning, because this is Ford's first all-electric pickup truck. But EVs have a lot of advantages. One of those is efficiency. They're very efficient when compared to an internal combustion engine. And here on the homestead, we drive lots of miles every year. So I took possession of this in January, we'll say January 1st of 2023. And so here we are 18 months later. We just passed 18 months and we already have 50,000 miles on it. So one of the big advantages to that is that I do that for about $400 less a month than I would on that amazing truck over there. So that is a 3.5 EcoBoost with a super cab long bed. And by comparison, over the course of 50,000 miles, if we averaged 18 miles a gallon, I have a note here that's 2,777 gallons times an average over the last 18 months in my area of about 325 a gallon. That's $9,027 in total fuel costs, not including oil changes for that awesome truck. So by comparison, this is about $400 less per month. I don't have a total on that, but $400 less a month to drive the same number of miles, especially when you're not towing with it and you're just using it for a pickup. So let's get in and show you the odometer here. And I'm gonna roll in some photos and footage of the stuff we've done with it here so far. But you can see the odometer as it sits here is 51,417. Get in there where you can see that. There you go. Yep, so that's where it's at now. I took a picture. We had started this when we got to the 50,000 mile mark, but nothing with the interior has really changed, obviously, in 50,000 miles. This is the Pro model, kind of the base model. I love the rubber floors. You don't have to have, it doesn't have to look like a spaceship. I really like that Ford kept real door handles. They kept door handles on the outside, and that it doesn't have to look like a big metal trash can. So it doesn't have to look like a spaceship. I don't think that for us to move forward in the EV world that cars have to look crazy. I really like the way they set this pickup up. We've not had any problems with it other than there was one pigtail underneath. So like an internal combustion engine that has a radiator, this has an extra cooling system to cool down the battery. And there was a pigtail that got splashed with some sort of water during the wintertime. I'll be rolling in some wintertime footage here. We've driven through a lot of snow in this thing, and very sure-footed in the snow. It's amazing. It has full-time all-wheel drive, basically. It's about 6,800 pounds curb weight, so it's almost like driving an F250. And it's just very sure-footed in the snow. And then if you come around to the other side here, I'll show you this. These are the stock tires. So Michelin worked with Ford on this to make these Michelin Primacy XC tires and give it kind of a light all-terrain performance. And these had a 55,000 mile tread warranty. And as we sit there at 51,000 miles, we're doing okay there. So we're getting down to the wear bars, but they're doing their job. If you look at the bed here, this is your basic Ford aluminum bed. They're only making the Lightning in these 5.5 foot, styles of beds, configurations. You can see we got some scratches in the aluminum, whatever. That's the number one thing I hate about this truck is the 5.5 foot bed option only. I'm starting to see a lot more F150s in that configuration around that are available with the 6.8 foot bed, but also with the crew cab, and that makes more sense if you're actually going to use your truck for more than just some hauling. I have used it for some towing. I'll roll in some towing footage here. Last year I towed some hay with it. I towed my tractor. Recently I rented an excavator, a mini excavator, to do some work, and I had rented that or towed that with it, and it did awesome. Of course, the big advantage with the big disadvantage with an EV and towing is, of course, just like this truck, just like a gas pickup or a diesel pickup, you're going to cut your range dramatically. Your fuel efficiency is going to go down, but it's much more noticeable in an EV because of your refuelability, your slower refuelability. So for short trips, it works amazing. It has 775 foot-pounds of torque, and you really feel that. And so very sure-footed when it's towing. It's worked great that way for me. when I've needed it to. But of course, it also works really well for just hauling people and hauling stuff in the bed. I've done some projects with it, again, rolling in footage here of some various projects that I've done with the truck. But trying to think if there's anything else I left out. I've been averaging, in the summertime, I average about 2.0 to 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. That's almost entirely highway driving. And in the wintertime, I'm averaging about 1.5 miles per kilowatt hour, again, highway driving. What that means is that in the summertime, I think my longest trip ever was about 190 miles with battery left, obviously. And in the winter, you're going to get more like 160 miles, 165 miles of highway driving. Those are real world numbers there. That's what we found with it. Okay guys, the other thing I didn't mention was that in 50,000 miles I've had no issues at all with the battery. So I know that's a question a lot of people have, and I haven't noticed any real difference in 18 months, 50,000 miles. I've not noticed any real difference in the chargeability. It seems like when I charge to 100% and I go down to whatever, that I'm still getting the same range that I was. So the battery has not been an issue at all. I know a lot of people have that question. This thing has been doing exactly what I needed to do and what I wanted to do so far. The other thing that's amazing about these trucks is these are the first pickups they have with full independent suspension in the F150 as opposed to a solid rear axle, and they just float in comparison to the internal combustion pickups. Having owned a couple different F150s and other half-ton pickups, the ride is no comparison. They ride much more like a sedan, but you get the work like a truck. Wrapping up, I've not had any battery issues. I've not had any problems with this. At 50,000 miles, I would absolutely buy this truck again. And by the time I get to 200,000 miles, the fuel savings alone will have paid off the price of the truck, and we'll be ready for the next generation, whatever that's going to be. Still rolling? 50. I don't know why I do that.